Tibetan Gate Gate Para Gate Para.
There are a lot of ways to lead in the Tibetan Buddhism. Learn not as a sort of, becoming a member and card carrying or whatever, but as someone who gets benefits without sort of identifying, the identifying and becoming is somehow, to me, is a Western culture. You're this, you're that, and we're this, we're that. Honestly, and for me, it is not. But it is much more in the West, and it is much less among the Tibetans. And like if you meet the Tibetans, no one going to ask you, are you a Gelugpa or Nyingmapa or Sajaba? Never ever. It may be understood after years or something. Or maybe the member of a certain monastery, people may understand. They don't. Just a single human being, a person. But in the West, they identify that immediately. You Gelugpas, you Nyingmapas, you Sajabas. But I don't know why. Why? Maybe a traditional Western culture has that division. We are Jews and we are Muslims and we are Christians and we are Catholics, and sort of somehow you divide it in your traditional culture, and maybe you try to do the same thing in this new teaching that comes in. I don't want to even call it religion, honestly. It's not. It doesn't emphasize you to worship, doesn't emphasize you to do this, doesn't emphasize you to do that, and it emphasizes you learn and think. Get the information and think. So, there's many ways of entering in the Tibetan Buddhism. One way is through guru devotional practice, very conservative way, which is sort of commonly known. Many ways. But looking at it, when Buddha became the Buddha first, what did he do? He did not say, worship me. He said, don't insult me. I'm Buddha. That he did say it. Honestly, he did say it. But he didn't say, worship me. So what did he say? He said, and he called it the 4 points. People later we call it 4 noble truths. 4 points. Right? Why call it noble? That's a very funny thing. Noble. Because meaning of that is proved to be true to those who can see it, who can understand. And those of us who are confused and we're not easy to get it. That's why they call it noble truth. Truth, because that's what it is. Why noble? So the other day I told you, these are the truth of suffering, cause of suffering, cessation, and the cause of cessation. Everybody knows that. Oh, maybe not true. Everybody who are interested in this field, they knows about it. Because that is the first Buddha's proclamation. You know, he said, I found something like a nectar. If I explain to anyone, no one will be able to understand. So, I'm going to keep silent. After all this, 6 years of difficulties and all that, and finally he achieved, and then he wanted to be quiet, which is not right. So everybody, Hindu, Buddhist, mythological gods, all of them merged one after the another and give their hand implements to the Buddha and said, look, you experience that. If you keep quiet, who's going to understand? So your purpose is not to be quiet. Your purpose is to say what you felt, what you understood. So that's why first that 4 points came. So when we wanted to get benefit out of Tibetan Buddhism, and whatever we look at that points. Points. Truth of suffering. What does that mean? What does that mean to me? Yeah, I know suffering is suffering. I suffer. But then, to some people, yes, I'm suffer. To some people, they say, no, I'm enjoying my life. I'm not suffering. Honestly, particularly those of us who are addicted, we enjoy the addiction. Right? Those of us who like to sleep, because nowadays I have lack of sleep. Not sleep apnea alone, but lack of sleep. Because of, I don't know, where did I go? Hong Kong last time. And come back and all that. And I'm not still adjusted. And then I'm trying to do some retreat and all that. So, when I'm falling asleep, if I have to get up, it's very hard. Very hard. People will call you sort of thing, and you really enjoy that cozy sleep, And I don't know, it doesn't matter whatever the time of the day is. So getting addicted, to get rid of that is suffering for me. And this is just personal experience of myself. What happened yesterday. That's what happened. Likewise, those of us who are addicted to other things, when you have to get away from that, it becomes difficult. Right? Those of you, not so many left now, luckily, but those few who are addicted to cigarette, you have to go outside the building in the snow, in the snowstorm, standing there and try to, with the shivering, try to finish your cigarette. Along with coughing continuously, even then keep on doing it, right? If that's not what the addiction tortures you, what else? What else? And mind you, the home or the place wherever you work or home is warm. Luckily, we have this heating system. Luckily. and we're lazy to put on coat. But when the cigarette addiction pushes you, you have to not only put on the coat, hat, scarf, shoes, and everything, go out and still they're shivering and smoking. That is the addiction tortures. Likewise, alcohol addicted people. Likewise, chemical addicted people. All of them, we have the same thing. And then the emotional addiction is even worse than that. These are little physical addiction. But the other one is the mental addiction. And who is more powerful, mind or body? So you think about it. You're not fools.
Theata gate gate para gate para sam gate